Hey, it's me. I think we need to talk about Dad.
What about him?
It's getting worse.
How could it be getting worse when it's never been good in the first place?
I know, I think one of us should go see him.
Good morning. The current time is 9:36 a.m. Central Standard Time, and you're tuned in to the Predictive Index of the Psychic, Metaphysical, and the Clairvoyant online edition. This vlog entry, number 117, to be labeled and cataloged as follows. The storm to end all storms. A premonition, September 14th, 2024. A storm will bring forth catastrophic devastation on both land and sea. From the vivid recollection of the reading, the death toll will be unimaginable. I've long feared that World War III would be fought with sticks and stones, and this may be evidence of that. As always, please remember that authentic psychic prediction reflects free will and personal power, not fate and fortune. It reveals only the next few steps, not the entire staircase. Also, I want to thank our sponsor, Pepe's Pizza and Funhouse. Come on in for family fun and tasty food. Mention you heard this ad and receive 10% off your bill, as well as a free cup of Fun Time coins for the kiddos. Also, please remember to pick up your copy of my new book, The Sensible Psychic: Teachings and True Perception. Available now wherever you buy books. Does anybody even buy books anymore? Hello? Yes, this is he. Yeah, who am I speaking with? And how did you get this number? Oh, sure. It's $10 for the initial 5 minutes, and then $1 a minute after that. Well, I think if you call around, you'll find that my prices are very competitive. Okay, fine. Look, why don't you go ahead and call California Psychics or some shit like that? Thank you for wasting my time. Six red, 10 blue. Let's make it 6 red, 9 blue. Tim again. Ugh. Dana.
Don't let me in or what? Place still looks the same.
Yeah, well, you know me. If you want a woman's touch, you need to be married, and that's just not me anymore.
Married to the science. Believe me, I know. What gives?
It's just an experiment, that's all.
The bathroom? And experiments in there? Unbelievable.
Would you like some coffee?
No, I can't stay long.
Oh, okay. Well, why are you here? Is it your brother?
No, he's fine. Look, Dad, I'm worried about you.
You worried about me?
Yes. The solitude, the OCD,
What OCD?
the bars of soap in the bathroom. I mean, I thought you were past all of that.
Oh, that's nothing.
Oh, really? I saw your last podcast.
You did?
Yeah, me and all 14 of your loyal subscribers. Listening to you rant and rave about some storm that's on its way to destroy humanity.
It was a premonition.
New Mexico? The Gila Wilderness? Ring any bells? You saw an avalanche, yet nothing happened. It was the resort's busiest ski season on record. The Kubal sandstorm also never happened. And as for your book, newsflash, it's only available in 2 bookstores, and they're selling it under the fiction heading.
Fiction? What two bookstores?
You've got to be kidding me.
Well, it's bull.
Exactly.
I don't mean it that way. I mean it's bull. They're selling it as fiction. I want the names of those two stores so I can go down there and talk to the managers.
Go down there. Dad, you haven't left this house in months.
I'll call
He never called me. Tyler either.
them. Tina, this storm is real. The others' missteps are mine, but this, you and your brother have somewhere safe you can go to, somewhere where you can ride it out.
Somewhere like where? Here? And by the way, this storm, when's it supposed to happen? Yeah, that's what I thought. Bye, Dad.
Dave. Fiction. Hi, yes, I'm still here. No, 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 no. That is incorrect. The book should be listed as non-fiction. I don't care if 1,000,000 books are returned. It is not false advertising. You know what? Let me speak to a supervisor. Yeah, I'll wait. Yes. Hi, I'm still here. Yes. No, 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 no. No, that's incorrect. The book should be listed as nonfiction. I don't care if 1,000,000 copies are returned. No, it should be listed in nonfiction. I don't care if 1,000,000 books are returned. It is not false advertising. All right, you know what, you peon? I want to speak to your supervisor. And don't put me on hold again.
How you feeling?
Good.
Good. Looks good. All right. Well, I say we just jump right into it. How does that sound?
Ready when you are.
Great. Okay. So I am here with Elias Thorne. Elias, thank you so much for meeting with me today. Would you mind telling us a little bit more about yourself? Right.
My name's Elias Thorne, like you just said. I'm a psychic medium. I'm also a published author and the founder of my podcast, The Predictive Index of the Psychic, Metaphysical, and Clairvoyant.
Very good. Could you tell us how you became a psychic? Like maybe when it started, how it started?
Well, I always like to say that the science of psychic mediumship only reveals a few steps at a time, not the entire staircase. And my first step occurred when I was 13. It was as if I could see the storm before it was already there. The wind, the cool rain, everything. I warned my family, and they told their neighbors and a few friends. But there was no formal warning, no early detection. So a lot of people died.
I see. Is that where you write them down? The visions?
My premonitions. Yes, my notepad.
So what would you say to the people out there that would suggest, you know, you've been lucky once or twice. It doesn't make you capable to see into the future without any consistency.
Consistent.
Yeah. I mean, you've been wrong on numerous occasions. And your track record speaks for itself, really. So How do you explain that?
Well, you see, my abilities are only the first rung of the ladder, so to speak.
You know, you said that already.
I did.
Except you called it a staircase.
Right. Did you see this notepad?
Elias?
You don't hear that?
Hear what?
Excuse me for a minute.
Elias? Elias? Hello? Everything all right? Elias?
This interview's over.
Okay. But I paid you for the hour, so what do you mean it's over?
There's a storm coming. You've got to get someplace safe.
There's a storm coming? Really? I mean, it's actually sunny out.
I have to warn the others. You need to leave now.
Hey, what about my camera? Elias, you can't just throw me out on the street.
Okay.
Elias. Elias, maybe we can just talk about this. Elias? Yeah?
Dana. Oh, thank God. Dana, look, I saw it again, the storm that I told you about, and this time it's closer.
Okay, what do you want me to do about that? Weatherman said clear sky.
Well, he's wrong. No, look, you've got to trust me on this. Is there somewhere you can go until it passes?
What storm?
Dana!
No, Dad, you listen to me, okay? You didn't see any storm. And even if you did, a real psychic would have some sort of idea as to when the thing was gonna happen.
Soon!
Soon what?
Soon I'll know exactly when it's going to happen. And Dana, this is a big one. You have to listen to me on this.
Look, I gotta go. I'm late for work. By the way, Tyler's gonna be by the house later, so you better make sure you're cleaned up before he gets there. He's not as forgiving as me.
Okay. Dana. Dana. Good evening. The current time is 9 p.m. Central Standard Time, and you're tuned in to the Predictive Index of the Psychic, Metaphysical, and Clairvoyant Online Edition. This is vlog entry number 118, to be labeled and cataloged as follows. The storm cometh. You know, psychic ability relies on a mentally relaxed state of detachment. A flower doesn't bloom through being pried open by force. Likewise, psychic receptivity cannot be achieved through strain. It has to be focused, not forced. There's a storm coming, unlike anything any of us has ever seen. Now, you don't have to believe me, but I have seen it and I have felt it. Climate change, anti-vaccination, creationist teachers, faith healers, psychic frauds, alternative medicine pushers. We need scientific thinking. We need a generation of kids who think an experiment is more important than a preconceived notion or an argument from authority. User 4490 asks, when is the storm coming? Soon. All I can say is soon. Very soon.
What's with the candy?
Oh, I buy a new jar every week and I separate them by colors.
Why?
Sharpens my abilities. Look, about yesterday, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to.
No. No need to apologize. I accepted it then, just like I do now, so. I say we just move on. Yeah?
Okay.
Okay. You don't think that this kind of looks like compulsive activity?
A soccer player kicks a ball hundreds of times a day. Would you call that compulsive? There's a difference. In order to be good at something, you have to work hard at it.
Understood. What happened to this one?
I tried to eat it.
Are you allergic?
Disgusted. A rainbow is a product of physics working for your appreciation of beauty. My mind works in the same manner.
So in order to interpret one of these predictions, your mind has to be open to the idea that it actually exists?
Exactly. In order to predict the future, you have to know it's there in the first place.
I tell you what. Let's try something new. I want you to do me.
Do you?
Yeah. Tell me my future. Go ahead.
Well, it doesn't work that way, I'm sorry.
But not according to your book. And it reads, and I wrote it down. I can meet someone new and instantly know about their past, present, and oftentimes their future.
That's out of context.
All right. Answer this for me. How come a psychic never wins the lottery?
Give me your hands.
Like this?
Close your eyes.
Is everything okay? You saw it again, didn't you? The storm? Can you describe it for me? Please.
You need to go.
Why?
I have to do my work. You need to go.
Elias, if you want the general public to take you seriously, you need to give it something it can sink its teeth into. Something real. Something
That matters?
Yes.
Because you see, I was right then, wasn't I? Maybe you want to hear that when you were 7 years old that you used to sleep in your mother's bed because you were sad that she was a single parent. Or maybe you want me to tell you about the outlines that you saw in the hallway at your grandmother's house, that they were angels. You're not a religious woman, but you were raised Catholic. So you know that those things could have been anything at all. They could have been angels, they could have been aliens, they could have been spirits. But the reason why I referred to them as angels is because way back then, you didn't know what ghosts were. So the only thing you could possibly correlate to what you were seeing was what made you happy. There! Is that psychic enough for you? Was that good? Ty.
Still keep the spare in the same spot. Third pop, second step.
You remembered.
Yeah, but I'm not here to take a stroll down memory lane, Pop.
Then why? What are you doing here?
Got any coffee?
How's work?
It's the same. Busy, good.
Good. Good. Glad to hear that.
Yeah, I'd ask you the same question, but we both know the answer to that one. Speaking of which, I always wondered why you did that. Ask questions. I mean, if you're supposed to be all-knowing, right?
All knowing?
Oh, I know. Poor choice of words. It's not like you're God. God doesn't make mistakes, right?
Your sister came to visit me. She didn't stay long.
I know what you did, Pop. I also know you're back to sorting candy and hoarding bars of soap.
She told you that?
She didn't have to tell me anything. Nothing to say?
Would it matter?
Probably not, but you're the one with abilities here.
Oh. So you came here to rub it in my face.
Dana worries about you. Me, I know who you are.
Your scapegoat.
You forget I was special once too.
Yes, you were, and that time came and went. And what good is blaming anybody else?
Someone else? I only have to blame one person. You.
I told you not to get into that car. So you don't listen to me, and that's on me.
Since when does a 16-year-old listen to their father?
Well, you never listened much to your mother either, not that she was around much. Did I ever ask your sister you to love me? Not once. I never asked you to deal with adult problems. All you had was your soccer. And yes, you were so damn good at it. Your sister and I, we used to love watching you play. And just like everyone else around us, we were in awe of how well you did it. And then the accident happened. And suddenly you're running around looking for somebody to blame because you can no longer do the thing you love to do. But when you think about it, no one can take those steps for you. Sure, it was a thing that happened to you. But you're old enough now to leave it there in the past where it belongs.
Wow. Look at you. Father of the f***ing year.
Okay, well, you're mad. Okay, Ty, you can be mad, but please listen to me. There is a monster storm coming, and it's gonna wipe this place off the face of the earth before it's all said and done.
How did it go the other day?
Disappointing.
Did you see the house? It's getting worse.
He's always been conditional with us. That's why Mom left. I don't know what good we can do him now.
So what? We just leave him to rot in that old house? Ranting on and on about a storm? I mean, you know how that makes him look.
Yeah, it makes him look crazy, but this is about you, right? How it makes you look, isn't it?
Look, he needs to know we care.
If what? He gets committed? Maybe that's the best thing.
How could you say that?
How could I not? Look, I'm never going to be the son that man needs. Maybe it's because I never became the person I thought I would. The only thing I kept with me was the idea that the world was only as big as I could see. No more, no less.
He didn't raise you to blame people.
I'm late.
I'm sorry.
For what?
Everything that happened to you.
I know. But yesterday is gone, you know?
Hello, Elias.
Clarissa. Oh, can I get you anything? Water, coffee, or something?
I'm good. Nice place you got here.
You think?
Not really. We're just being nice.
How'd you find out where I live?
Our daughter called. Just a bad time. I can come back.
No, I'm free. I'm just trying to figure out why you came.
Our children are worried about you. Despite your best efforts, they still care. Are you gonna invite me in? Elias, what the hell are you doing?
What do you mean?
What do I mean? What I mean is, why do you keep doing this? When are you gonna stop? For yourself, for your family. What? It wasn't enough that your psychic bullshit drove me away? And now you want to ruin what little grace you have left with your kids? I mean, God forbid you have a grandchild someday that you never get to see. Fix it, Elias.
Fix it? And just how do I do that? This is who I am.
Who you are? You want to know who you are? You stayed at home every day while I went to work. I sat in traffic while you blew all our money on this hobby of yours. I felt the weight of our debt getting heavier with every passing day.
I didn't hear you complain when I surprised you with that trip to Paris.
The Louvre was closed. And in case you forgot, somehow that was my fault too. Like I was supposed to check the times and I somehow got them wrong. And you were the one who planned the trip in the first place.
You know, you always resented me for being special.
Special. Yeah, that's what we're going to call it now. No, Elias. I resented you because you had all these future predictions and never once did you predict that I wanted to leave you. And if you had, maybe you would have worked to save our marriage. Birthdays are special. Anniversaries are special. What you are is a fraud.
How can you say that?
Because there's a difference. I am so glad that I am not special. I don't want everyone's eyes on me. I don't want people whispering about me. I don't want to be picked apart. God, that feels like such a lonely, miserable existence. I'm not special. So I don't have to do anything particular. I go to a job that I like. I enjoy hanging out with my friends. I can pick up a hobby and drop it whenever I want. You have a book that nobody reads and a fake website that nobody visits.
That's your opinion.
God, this is useless.
Clarissa, I have something to tell you.
Go on.
There's a storm coming. I'm seeing it in my sleep when I'm awake, and it's a bad one. And I've told the kids, but they don't believe me.
Oh God, there's a fresh perspective.
Look, I know you've always hated me for what happened. You've always wanted me to be of service to others, and this is me doing that.
Oh, Elias. After I left, after the accident, I had this moment where I thought I was just like you. I had this voice whispering in the back of my head. What is it you want, and why don't you fight for it?
Well, why didn't you?
The voice was speaking about you. Elias, please don't do it for me. Please do it for the kids. Give it up. Come back to reality.
No. You could have just pretended I was dead, lit a few candles. You didn't have to come here.
But you know, I have my limitations, Elias. Oh, take care of yourself. Please think about what I said. Please.
Hello, this is Elias Thorne calling. I was wondering if you'd seen my notepad, the one from the interview yesterday, the one I showed you. If you could call me back as soon as you get this, please. Thank you. This is an emergency. Yeah. Hi, this is Elias Thorne again. I'm calling about my notebook, my notepad that I was wondering if you'd seen it. Call me back, please. Thank you. Elias Thorne. I'm trying to reach you. I've called like 4 times now. Please, please, please. It's imperative that you call me back. Please.
The mailbox is full and cannot accept any messages at this time. Goodbye.
Elias. Just call me back, please. What the I understand, but how do you expect me to run a business with my domain down? What does it matter what kind of website it is? Okay, all right, it's a psychic website. What do you mean more significant? Do you mean to tell me that those other businesses get preferential treatment over me? Well, that is unacceptable. I want my domain up and running now. Do you hear me? I don't care if you don't like the tone of my voice. This is the way I talk when somebody tries to brush my feelings under the rug. Never mind.
Dissociative identity disorder. You may know it by its former name, multiple personality disorder. It has an average age of onset between 5 and 6 years old, and it can go unnoticed due to the assumption that the child is playing a game in which they are pretending to be someone else. So by the time the patient reaches your father's age, the damage specifically done to the psyche can be irreversible.
Meaning?
Meaning the mind can lose itself altogether.
And you're certain this is what he has?
Well, it's difficult to diagnose, and there are no tests to determine if the person is being truthful about symptoms. The symptoms are, in fact, what give the disease its power.
So he's pretending to be someone he's not.
In my professional clinical opinion, yes, he is. You know, there have been cases where the alternate personalities can have different elements, different eyesight, even different religious beliefs. You know, in this case, though, it's different abilities of the mind.
Our father thinks he's a psychic.
That is correct.
And this storm he's talking about?
It's probably just a byproduct of the mind, but it's his damaged mind. Let me ask you both, has your father ever expressed the idea that a family member, a friend, or even a pet had been replaced by an identical imposter? No? Well, has he ever mistaken the identity of someone?
No.
I don't think so.
That's interesting.
Why is that interesting?
Hey, guys.
Want to have a seat?
Sit down, Pop.
What's going on?
Anyone come to visit you lately?
Your mother?
Besides her?
Be honest with us, Dad.
Yeah, a reporter, a journalist. She's doing a piece on me, on my abilities.
You sure about that?
Well, of course I'm sure. Why would you even ask me something like that? Say, have either of you found my notepad? I had it here. I know I haven't. I've just been searching for it like crazy.
Hello, Elias. I believe you were looking for this.
You stole it? I called you like a dozen times.
I know you did.
This isn't about some notebook, Pop.
Then what's it about?
She isn't a reporter. She's not a journalist either.
Elias, my name is Rachel, and I'm a doctor. Dissociative identity disorder. You may know it by its former name, multiple personality disorder.
Doctor.
I'm your doctor. I've been treating you for psychosis for the last 16 months. I've been coming here several times a week since then, and your mind has led you to believe that I'm someone else.
What would you know about my mind?
Floods, tornadoes, hurricanes, death, famine. It's all heartwarming stuff, Elias. You are so highly intelligent, but you are also delusional. And the fact that you had trouble recognizing me has led me to believe that you've begun to develop Cagral syndrome.
What?
Cagral syndrome, it was founded by Joseph Cagral, who was a French psychiatrist, and he first described the disorder in 1923. In other words, dementia.
This is ridiculous.
You need to hear her out, Pop.
So you've been spying on me the whole time?
Absolutely not. Your children are concerned about your well-being, so we constructed this whole little interview experiment.
To trick me?
No, to help you, Elias. Would you have allowed me to come here otherwise? Your refusal to leave this house, honestly.
Oh, this is some kind of prank, isn't it? You guys are pulling one over on me, aren't you?
No.
You are very sick, Elias. And you are not a psychic. You never have been. You've just simply struggled with this whole delusion of grandeur.
I know who I am.
Do you? The candy, the bars of soap. Those are all signs of dementia, Elias. Your past, your abilities, just because you've guessed right a handful of times, doesn't make you capable to see the future.
And you would know this how?
By seeing your delusions firsthand. When your book sales tanked, it was the fault of the store owner. When your website domain deactivated for lack of payment on the bill, you thought it was some sort of conspiracy. Even as a child, predicting this horrific storm, it was just nothing more than luck.
How did you know about that, about my website?
Because my phone number is the only one in your phone. And every time you would pick it up to make a call, it's been me. Hi, how can I help you?
The book should be listed as non-fiction.
I understand that, but people are returning the book.
I don't care if 1,000,000 books are returned.
Well, sir, what kind of website was it again?
What does it matter what kind of website it is?
Well, sir, we're working on everyone's website, not just yours.
Do you mean to tell me that those other businesses get preferential treatment over me?
And it was the only way to make sure that my diagnosis was correct.
But you, I told you about your childhood, about your mother and the shadows in the hall.
I was simply playing along, Elias. In fact, I grew up in a very happy home with 2 parents and a golden retriever.
It's illegal. I'll sue you.
For what? You need help, Elias, and I can help you. All you have to do is agree to leave this house.
But the storm.
It's a figment of your imagination at this point.
But I saw it in my mind.
But your mind is broke, Elias, and we are running out of time. Will you go in for treatment, please?
Clarissa,
Your ex-wife. She came to see you, didn't she?
yes.
Elias, she passed 7 years ago.
You could have just pretended I was dead, lit a few candles. You didn't have to come here.
Please.
Don't do it for me. Please do it for the kids. Give it up. Come back to reality.
So, it's been you all along?
Yes.
All right, all right. I'm so sorry, you guys.
This is good. You know, we can beat this. All of us working together. Could just bring him straight to my office, no stops, okay? You all right?
Clear skies.
Just like the weatherman predicted.